Uh, I'm also gonna be looking at the. Am I? Am. Oh, for me? Am I? Oh, uh, hi, y'all. David's mic is not picking up. He'll probably be restarting OBS to see if it'll pick up his mic, but it's not. It's currently not picking up his Yeti. But if you can hear me fine, then yeah, that's what's going on at the moment. Is that all you need? Is all
Blah blah blah. Hello. I fixed it. I fixed it. We're here. We're here. Hold on. Let me unmute Kyle. Okay. Unmute Kyle. And we're gonna get rid of this starting soon. And now it's saying no device. Did this happen again? Hold on. This live streaming stuff is tough, folks. It's so tough. I think we're finally here. I think we're finally here. Can you hear me, chat? Can you hear me? I can see me on the thing. Can we see me? It says no device on the video capture device. So how have we gotten to that point? Oh, you know why? Because I've unplugged. At some point, I've unplugged the video thing. Now let's see if this works. Just a second, folks. Just a second. This should work here in just a second. Well, maybe not. Okay.
I can hear you.
You can't hear me?
I can. I just heard you. I just
no. What's happening is you can't see my video.
Do you have what's the thing called? What's
no,
your
it's because I'm using the capture card. It's literally because the capture card isn't picking up because I have to switch the things around.
Man, you need to work on this live streaming stuff.
Well, it's because I have to set it up with the stupid DSLR, and I don't have like a place that I can just because this PC is so huge and I just don't have the space right now. It has to like go in a very specific spot. Okay, why is this not working now? Hold on, folks.
Well, to the 326 viewers, hi.
You know, if we'd started at noon, I would have had time to set the stream up. But when these damn races end at 8 o'clock at night, you may have just heard my G27 go off. That was the G27 calibrating. Let me see if I've actually...
Quotation, tech issues land.
You're damn right, man. Woo!
That's where your Twitter needs to be. No.
I think I just may need to just get the... may need to redo the video capture device here. So let's delete that. Yes, I want to remove video capture device. We're going to try to add video capture device now. It's so finicky. Shame COVID makes it so that you literally can't buy effing webcams right now. Which sucks. No, I don't want to do a window capture. I really appreciate everybody who's watching right now because this is a disaster so far.
Is this at least an issue that you like can fix? Like
Oh yeah, I'm fixing it right now.
Good, good.
No, I don't want to add an existing source. I want to add a new source. And for some reason my face is smushed again, but I at least see my face. So, there we go. Fine. Fine. Whatever. We'll make this we'll make do with this. If I could get rid of that, whatever that was. And we're going to stick that here. Again.
When you're in Streamlabs and you do the thing where the transformation will make it bigger and smaller.
Yeah, but it's like locked. It's like locked. I can't, when I do that, it just makes it like a square. I don't know. I was supposed to add Forza Alex to the thing, but that's not going to happen. So there's an Alex and already car in the background. So that's the closest we're going to get to that. And also, I didn't have a 43 hat. I'll have to change that. I may need to get the camera back in focus. Let me see if I can do that. And we'll finally actually be able to start talking about this damn race. Okay. Let's see what... I know we had a couple of super chats. 366 people watching already. I promise this will be better for the Indianapolis streams, but I don't know what the hell is going on here. Who is Dustin Skinner? Since we've got a couple.
Mike Skinner's, I believe, the tweet that was put out said it. He was this Mike Skinner's son. So, did you see the tweet?
No,
I'm gonna click on the message thing. Yeah, I would read that. I did see that. I want to find who tweeted it out.
I'm looking at it. They sent it as a super chat.
Oh, the actual tweet?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Because I saw the tweet.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Wow,
that is.
Yeah.
A big oh dear moment. Yeah.
That's a little more than
an oh dear. But
okay. So welcome. We finally got this thing underway. So I want to start by Echo.
Yeah.
What's the Echo?
What
the hell have I got
on the...
Oh, the video capture device. That would explain why.
Yeah, that would explain it. It just sounded like probably your mic and some other... You guys had two mics on.
It was because I had the mic that's on the camera and the mic on this. Yes, I'm aware there's an echo. Because I had to restart the video.
There's going to be a delay, so...
Okay. So, let's get this thing underway, shall we? Okay. So, I'll say positive first before we get into some negative things. And yes, Jimbo Burrito, thank you for your $2 saying we've got echo. And I've now fixed the echo. Whatever NASCAR did with the package, that needs to be the thing. We're still echoing?
No, it's not fixed.
Oh, okay.
Remember, the chat's delayed.
The chat is really delayed. Well, see, now they're just going to keep trolling. So whatever NASCAR did with the package, fantastic. Very well, very exciting race. I mean, I honestly was watching like the last, right before they had the Jimmy crash. It was like one of the more exciting races that I've seen in a while in NASCAR, which was fun. Well, it's funny how laggy the chat is, how far behind the chat is. That's amazing to me.
It's funny that you've live streamed how many times and you're
Well,
just
we
now
haven't
waiting for
had
the chat setting.
this bumping of a chat before, I will say.
I was the chat reader for like 5 of them, so I understand how delayed it is, but
That's hilarious.
dude, it's pretty delayed.
It's bumping. Well, yeah, because if you think about it, I have to delay because the camera is laggy, or the camera delays. You have to delay all of the audio, and then there's a delay streaming to YouTube, and then YouTube, there's another delay with that actually getting to the people who are watching. So it's crazy. I guess I should mention Kyle Cuthbertson is here. Audio
Hey.
is not synced up. Oh shit, that's right. That's probably why it
Nice.
was lagging. Okay. Yeah, because I'll have to delay the freaking video capture device, right?
Nice.
Let me see if I can remember how to do that. Streamlabs is such a bitch. Okay. So what haven't I delayed?
We need to do more. You need to do more test streams. You need to test more.
Okay, what have I not delayed? I think I've got to delay video capture device 1. Let's see if that works. It might. Did that fix it? They're saying it's now fixed. It's synced now. Sync is fine.
It's good.
Okay, I don't know what I did, and I don't know how it was updated that quickly, which scares me that I fixed the wrong thing. No, it's good. Stop. Kyle, why do you let me do that?
What?
Don't touch it, it's fine. Kyle, I fixed it, so now the chat is mad. Okay. Anyway. The chat is so far back. It really is. You guys need to refresh your pages. This was supposed to be serious. I was supposed to have all this serious stuff to talk about. We're talking about this. Okay, Kyle. Introduce yourself, introduce your channel, and then we'll get into the serious business.
Race Nation TV on YouTube. Check out some of the videos I've been making recently. I'm also David Land's cameraman, so yeah.
Okay, so obviously this race was. Obviously there's always a lot of drama that surrounds the Talladega weekend, but it's usually not this kind of drama. And this was a very, very significant weekend moment for NASCAR. Because I'm sure, as you guys are now all aware, there was a noose found in Bubba Wallace's garage Sunday night, which, I think to say it shocked everyone, I think would be an understatement, understatement of the century. And quite honestly, and there may be some strong language, by the way. I may get a little fired up during this, so just FYI to those of you who are mad at my update yesterday on the community tab. I was just shocked because, you see all this social media BS where, you think most people are just all bark and no bite. And you kind of dismiss a lot of the crap that is said. But to see someone not only act on it, but essentially threaten, not essentially. Let me rephrase that. Threaten a driver, right? So this is a direct threat. And to me, in any circumstance, you shouldn't ever threaten a race car driver. And especially in this circumstance where it was racially charged. And you targeted the black driver and you put a noose in his fucking garage. What's the matter? What is the... I can't even imagine that. And I said on Twitter last night that whoever did this, for whatever reason, we still don't know the reason. What we know is someone put a noose in Bubba Wallace's garage. And whoever did that, whoever did it, does not love the sport of auto racing. Because whoever did that was interested in perpetuating a stereotype. They were interested in essentially terrorism. They wanted to terrorize the event, terrorize a competitor. And they valued perpetuating racism over the sport of auto racing. And as someone who likes this, loves this, I'm so passionate about this sport. The fact that somebody, it's just unfathomable to me, that somebody could value racism over this sport. It goes beyond comprehension. Whoever this is, I cannot believe that someone like this exists. And again, whatever the motivation, ultimately, they caused. And here's the other thing too, which is, and eventually we'll probably get into this. I'm sure this won't be the last time we talk about this today, but one of the things that stood out to me was that whoever did this was so stupid. Because even if they didn't get on camera, we don't know if they did or did not at this point, what did they expect would be accomplished here? Because did they expect NASCAR was just going to shut the race down and leave? Did they expect that the Bubba would just stop racing? Did they expect that the Confederate flag ban was just going to be ended? I mean, what was the goal here? It's just a ridiculous, stupid act. Kyle, I would like you to speak on this. I want to get the video while you're talking about this on. I want to find the video of the tribute they did at the beginning of the race.
I mean, you said it best. I don't know. I didn't get to see it before I went to bed, and right when I woke up, it was the first thing I saw, and I just could not believe that happened in today. It's just, it feels like something that you would have seen if anyone's seen the movie Uppity. It just feels like something that you would have seen in that movie about Willie T. Ribbs in the 80s. And I thought we'd be past that. And yeah, it just shows that, there's work to do. And yeah, it's just
all of
yeah,
NASCAR.
I have no idea what to say. It's just very unfortunate.
Yeah, that was the thing you mentioned. It was the Uppity movie.
I was thinking of, what I thought about was Bubba, and I was like, man, I hope this lights a fire under his ass, and I hope he goes out there and wins it. Because I remember Uppity, Willie T. Ribbs, and one of my favorite quotes that he said was, if you don't hate me now, I'm gonna give you a reason to. And he'd win races and do the Muhammad Ali dance on top of the car and show him why.
All of NASCAR's drivers have rallied
really
around.
I thought about, and yeah.
I just probably blew everybody's eardrums out with that. So here's the tribute. We're gonna throw that up on the screen right now. I thought Fox Sports did a fantastic job with this, and I don't give them a lot of credit a lot of the times for obvious reasons, but yeah, I felt like they handled this really well. Mike Joy did a fantastic job, as he usually does. He usually steps up to the plate with these sort of things, and here's the thing too. And you look at this picture with all the teams, with all the drivers. Whoever did this, I think, did exactly the opposite of what they were perhaps, whatever they wanted, I think they got the opposite reaction from it. because you see all these drivers and teams, and Richard Petty, who, by the way, I read on Twitter, ordinarily doesn't go to Talladega for personal reasons.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
So I thought he didn't go to. He hasn't been to the races recently because of the COVID. That's
Well,
why
no. Well, okay, that was part of it, but for something happened. Like a friend of his got killed at Talladega, and he doesn't attend races there if he doesn't have to. I had read that on Twitter.
Maybe that has something to do with that time when he went drag racing or something. I don't know.
I may have, but all I know is that I mean, ultimately, Richard Petty went out of his way to be here and show support for his driver. And I mean, these pictures. I mean, when I saw this live, man, I'm sure everybody else felt this way. That this was a very, very special, touching moment, and you can see the emotion in Bubba Wallace's face. I mean, that is just. I mean, it's weird to say something so kind of beautiful is hard to watch, but it was hard to watch, man. It's hard to see, because here's the thing that's just so good about this, I think, is that all of the people that were upset by this, those are the people who you're seeing on the screen right now. And it's the vast majority of people who were upset by this. Clearly this anti-racist thing that NASCAR has been doing, and obviously more power to them on that, has exposed some racism within the sport. But the thing that I think is important here is that it also exposed that, that stereotype definitely isn't right at all. Because, I mean, again, just look at this. It was a beautiful thing. It really was. And obviously we'll talk about it later, but Bubba Wallace had a pretty damn good race. So, and this was something I said to somebody else was, when you piss a race car driver off, oftentimes they drive a hell of a lot faster. And Bubba's always good on these sorts of tracks anyway. And it's just kind of a shame that it didn't. I mean, this, again, we're seeing this again with Richard Petty comforting Bubba. I mean, that was the part that just, I mean, this is old school NASCAR comforting the new school, and that's just, I mean, that image right there, man, that is it's awesome. Really is awesome to see. So
one of the biggest things I hate about all of this is that, remember when everything started happening, I remember Jeff Gluck put out that Bubba recognized that things were going to be a bit more unsafe for him, and he probably wasn't going to be able to go walk around the infield like he normally would. And that's one of the big things I thought was a major change in hearing, because especially if you've kept up with Bubba Wallace the past couple of years, he is one of those personalities he has probably one of the best personalities in NASCAR. He's the guy. He's a photographer, which with me, that really stood out to me. And he actually, goes out of his way to get the vest for the Xfinity races, and sometimes he'll go out and shoot. And social, I mean, he is, one of the greatest personalities. He's one of the guys like Blaney that'll go out and walk around the RVs in the infield and just be one of those personal guys. I mean, he's more than the black NASCAR driver. It's just so good for him to be in the sport for more than just being the black NASCAR driver. And I hate hearing that he thinks it'll be dangerous to go around and stuff. It's unfortunate, but
Joey makes a good point about that. He says the best part is that we get rid of the racist fans, quote unquote, and to bring in a lot more because they finally feel welcome. Yeah, that was another point I guess I missed in my opening rant, was something that I think, again, it's a thing that just doesn't register in my brain. I just can't wrap my mind around it. Why anybody would want this sport to not be as inclusive as possible. You know what I mean? And I know inclusive is like a buzzword now, but I mean, if you go to a racetrack and you're a paying customer, why on earth should there be any reason that you shouldn't feel like you can have a good time, and enjoy the race and take your mind off of the troubles that are happening in the world?
Yeah.
And so, to me, that's what's so great about racing. And also the other thing, and I've talked about this every time, the woman driver thing comes up, is that the race car doesn't know who's driving it. It's
That's one of the great points Mike Joy brought up.
yeah,
Is
yeah.
in other sports, so usually to be a good in basketball, you have to be 6 foot. You have to be big and strong to play football. But no matter what size, color, what gender, the race car doesn't know.
Well,
So
the size in F1 maybe. You can't be Tony Stewart. You can't be big boy. Go down there and race in Formula. But yeah, for the most part, a fast race car driver, no matter who he or she is, will make that car, will be able to drive that car as well as they can drive it. And that's what's so good about it. Again, man, that Richard Petty that to me, like, this is a guy, Richard Petty is a guy who, won the Rebel 500, had Confederate flags and Confederate soldiers handing him trophies, and he's like at the forefront. I mean, and even think about this, the weight of the fact that it's the 43 car. I mean, something that NASCAR fans are so passionate about is the legacy of the car numbers, And one of the most significant numbers in the sport is having this incredibly significant moment associated with it, which is just, it's really good. I mean, it's just, and this is the thing too, is that this situation really, I think, it definitely got me fired up, because this isn't, when you're making threats to people, like, that's a whole nother level from words on a Twitter screen. Once you take some of this bullshit out of the social media world, that's when it starts getting under my skin. And this definitely got under my skin. I know I was fired up about this last night, but I'm glad. I mean, I think, again, I have to give all the credit to NASCAR and I can't wait till we find out who that guy is, guy or gal or whoever, and throw them the fuck out.
I really hope they can figure out who it is. The last thing I wanted to hear was when they said that there might have been less cameras in the garage area. That was the last thing. But you would think, I mean, there has to be a ton of surveillance to at least have an idea of, who it could have been at the very least.
People are asking what happened. What happened was, last night someone put a noose in Bubba Wallace's garage, which, I mean, I think if you do some Googling, if you don't know why that's significant, that someone would do that to try to intimidate a black driver. But yeah, what a moment. We do have a race to talk about. I mean, that's what we are here to do, and we're going to do that. Let me see if I can shut off the right media source. Haha! Here, I'm back. So like I said in the opening, we got 532 people watching right now. Thank you guys all so much. Like I said in the opening, I think that the package that NASCAR brought to this race was fantastic. I thought this was one of the better NASCAR races I've seen in quite a while. I thought it was exciting. I thought it was so much lead changing, and it's weird because in the past we've seen races where one team dominates the entire race. I mean, Stuart Haas did it a couple of years ago. The JGR Toyotas have done it in the past. Penske tried to do it today, and in a lot of ways they did dominate, but it didn't really feel like it because the pack was close. Drivers could pass, but they didn't have like insane runs. There wasn't a ton of blocking, though. There was a block at the end of the race that we're going to talk about. But for the most part, I thought it was good. What do you think, Kyle, about the package?
I thought it was really good. Better than, I mean, I'm maybe the rain threat added a bit more, added a bit more to it, racing that hard for so long race. But the one thing we didn't have that we usually get in these plate races in the Gen 6 era was that single file lane that usually forms. So yeah, I mean, I guess it was pretty good.
Yeah, we didn't see much of the train. I thought there was going to be a train coming, and then there wasn't. And then they got two. They always had the two lanes going. There always seemed to be a second lane, and I don't really know what the everybody's talking about the there was a noose found at Sonoma.
Oh yeah, Adam Stern tweeted about that.
When did that happen?
Like right when I joined the Discord. Like,
No. Okay, so hold on.
half an hour ago. It was like on
Stern
when it actually
tweeted
happened.
Stern tweeted about this
Yeah, like tonight. Like
tonight. Okay, hold on, folks. We may need to talk about this. This may be breaking news here. Let's see.
piece of twine tied in the shape of a noose, found on Saturday.
Okay, what's going on here? Okay.
I looked at it and was very confused.
Yeah, hang on. Let's.
There has to be some like background to why.
Yeah, so I'm clicking on the article that he. Okay. I don't want to sign up for your newsletter, San Francisco Gate. Okay, let me see if I can bring this up on the stream, so we can take a look at it. We'll do a window capture. Add source. What window do we want? We want do I have Microsoft Edge? Yeah. Okay. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Why are there so many Microsoft Edges? What the hell? I wish it told me which. Can I go? Oh no, I think there's a browser capture option, isn't there? Yeah, there we go. Add source. Add source. Actually, let me just do this. We just do the full-on capture of the entire window.
Yeah, there's not really much.
I don't know why I can't. Why won't it show me what?
There's not really much to that article.
Okay.
Either.
Well, never mind. We don't have to.
It was found like at
Yeah.
an administrative building in Sonoma, which in Sonoma in California, I mean they're closed, so I don't know. It would really wouldn't be any racing series there right now for.
Well,
weird.
but that doesn't mean anything. Somebody could have
know,
gone to the track and tried to cause trouble.
It's an
Yeah,
odd thing.
Yeah, that's. We'll wait and see on that one, because I don't know what we're talking about there. I mean, obviously Adam's good about getting that stuff out there, but actually I've got a text right now. Is this? Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. It's weird. What are we?
End of the race.
Talk about Jason Jacoby? No. We'll talk.
Ooh.
We could talk about him. Maybe later.
Ooh.
Maybe later. That is a developing situation. I
Big
don't
yikes.
want to jump on that too hard yet.
Yikes.
But I did share a video on my Twitter. So where were we about the race? The package. Again, I said it a couple times already. I thought the package was pretty much perfect, quite honestly. So were there any drivers who surprised you, Kyle?
No. None really did. There were really the guys who were usually the front row. I mean, you had Priest up there, Stenhouse was up there. You know, really all your usual good guys on plate tracks were up there.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Here's the thing. People were talking about Bubba, and he's good on those sorts of tracks. So I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of the same thing with Dale Jr. back in the day. I mean, people will always say, you know, drivers are getting the call, so to speak. But I think Bubba's just good on those sort of tracks. I did think it was a really cool moment that the 11 car, which FedEx had given up the space on the car to promote a civil rights museum, that car helped Bubba get to the lead. I thought that was just a cool, you know, and again, it's just kind of dorky, you know, goofy things, you know, it's just like, it wasn't like it was staged that way, but the fact that it happened that way, you know, it kind of felt like divine intervention to some way. People are talking about Brendan Poole. Yeah, Brendan Poole was like up there. He was up there for a little while.
Well, remember, he almost won that Talladega race in Xfinity one time. He's pretty good at play races.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I think he did win that race.
He definitely did win that race.
He did win that race.
Definitely did. Justin Haley also definitely won that Daytona race at one time. But yeah, besides the point.
I thought Bubba was more of a short track driver. I mean, he's good on the short tracks too.
He is good on the short tracks too.
But he's the type of driver that's always there at the end of the plate races. I mean, he does get in crashes sometimes early. I think it was the fall Talladega race of last year. Maybe it was a spring race of last year was where he crashed early on. But most of the time, you know, he survives the crashes and he's there at the end. And that's what we should talk about next. Until the end, and we'll talk about the end, but a very clean race. A very clean race.
The thing about the package was they were running, you know, 3 wide all the way down, and it always looked like a big one was about to happen, but it never did. It was weird.
Yeah, well, the one with Blaney where he got like sideways, and
that was cool.
Yeah, and then he like apparently said over the radio that, oh yeah, that was nothing. I don't know if it was nothing, but it was yeah, that and that was the Mike Joy was talking about something interesting that I thought was that the Fords are best at pushing because of how their noses are designed. But I know specifically that Chevy changed their nose this year specifically because they wanted to be able to push cars on super speedways better.
Well, the thing about the Chevy nose is it's flatter, but it's still like a Camaro comes in at a point in the center, so it's still not as good as the Fords. But, you know, if you notice what the Chevys did was they created less drag because they used to have that lip that came over, like how the Camaros has that indent in the grill. They actually used to have that, and it created a bunch of, you know, front downforce or drag on their super speedways. So now they, you know, got rid of that, and now they're a bit more aerodynamic. But they still have that point in the center, which isn't as good as the Fords in pushing. I mean, the Fords can literally tandem all day and rarely wreck someone, where the Chevys have a bit more trouble with that.
Wasn't NASCAR like against the tandems?
Yeah, they were.
Like,
they tried for years to get rid of them. Remember?
No. I mean like recent tandems. Like one of the things that they changed the rules to this race versus Daytona was to try to prevent them from tandeming, right?
They added that. I mean, I wouldn't think that slick tape on the front was wanting them to prevent tandem.
Well, no, that wasn't that wasn't what they changed. What they changed was they got rid of the aero ducts in the front. They had the aero ducts.
I don't know how that would get rid of tandem though.
Mr. Anti-Ant says thoughts on the Jimmy Johnson spin.
That was when Harvick.
So, I mean, it's a product of plate racing. I'm surprised they didn't do it a lot more, because what seemed to happen in this race in particular was because I think this would have been a much crazier race if the Penske cars hadn't been hooked up. Because as soon as the Penske cars got broken up and you got 2 or 3 guys there who were willing to try to swap the lead, it got insane, because the first 2 or 3 guys would like get stalled out, or they would break out of line, and then, you know, I mean, remember a couple of times Stenhouse did this a couple of times, and I think Bubba did it once, and I think William Byron did it too, where the third lane would have a ton of momentum when the first two lanes kind of got into each other, or not got into each other, but they kind of broke up, and they all drove, and then it was just insane because everybody's weaving in and out of traffic, and that was the situation that got Jimmy. Was Jimmy made a late move, got turned, spun, and that was it. It just seems like Jimmy Johnson's late career in a nutshell. David Copeland says, "Hey David, wondering if you thought NASCAR not throwing the caution after the wreck on the final lap." Okay, yeah, we got to talk about this. There's a lot of things to talk about actually with the final lap. Have we learned nothing from Daytona? Have we learned nothing from Daytona? The speed of the cars wasn't entirely the issue with Daytona. Okay?
They were still hitting like 204 today.
Yeah, they were only like 3 miles an hour really slower than they were at Daytona. But okay. We literally saw the exact same situation. Almost verbatim. Same driver in the lead. Same thing. You had a crash in the back. Coming to the line.
The crash, you got to think the crash happened in 1 last time.
Well, that too.
The crash happened, so Daytona, the crash happened in 1. Today it was in 3.
Yes. Which was much later.
Yeah.
And it was a pretty big crash too. Which
Daytona?
No, Talladega.
Yeah.
Which is why
which
is why I wondered why there wasn't a caution today. That was the thing that I was confused about. And I don't know why there wasn't a caution.
I was just making sure, because you said there was a wreck on the back in Daytona, but it was in turn 1. There's because what I think is going to get interesting. I think that Daytona should have had a caution probably on the last lap because it was in 1. But the fact it was in 3, and I think most of the field was past it by 3, then I think there's no reason to not let him finish. I mean, you can, as long as, I don't think it was, you could probably, once the pack goes by, you could probably send trucks out on the last lap if they're in 3, because if you're telling me that they can't finish the race and slow down by turn 3 on the final lap,
I agree with that. I mean, but that's a consistency thing, though. And they've never been
then
very consistent about it.
Then they're starting to be very consistent because they didn't call it last time on the last lap, and now they didn't call it.
We'll finish up because there's a second part to the last lap discussion that I think will be a little more spicy. But Nolan says, I believe we have a rivalry with Chase and Joey. Yeah. That started like a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah. And
it kind of came to a head last week. Even though I didn't even watch the race last weekend. We've got a timer. Sorry, folks. And I didn't even watch the race last week, but I know that Joey was a lap down and got in front of Chase and essentially cost him a win. So
he got in the back of Chase and literally got him loose. Just looked like he was trying to wreck him, but didn't wreck him. It was kind of a
lap car.
It was a fun thing, yeah.
Oh,
you didn't watch Homestead? That was actually
I missed it.
Like I thought,
I took a break from society last weekend or 2 weekends.
Yeah, I forgot that did happen.
Yeah.
And then it was my turn to make people mad on Twitter by saying that overtime was bad. So, oops.
Well, we still got to talk about that.
Okay. Oops. But Homestead last week, just real quick, I thought it was gonna be trash because of the package, but oh my God, Homestead was actually really good with that package. Like the one race that the package helped, like probably didn't help. I would have been better with the old pack, but still, that was insane. It was good.
So my big issue with the end of the race is, are we just ignoring that Blaney just crashed 2 guys for the win?
I don't think he did. Did.
Okay, you got to explain how the hell you think that. Hold on, you talk. I'm gonna try to find video of this, and we'll let the chat.
You watch last year's finish. They're coming side by side, and they hit. I think Blaney was coming over. And if he would have hit Jones and Nemechek wasn't there, which Nemechek was just barely there, I think, he was coming over for the close finish, and, it just didn't think Nemechek was actually there. And then, Jones got into Nemechek, and that's the. I mean, I don't think Blaney wrecked Jones on purpose. I don't think that's what happened.
Well,
But he was blocking, but that's the thing. That's the thing in NASCAR. If you're not going to, if you're gonna let them block like that, which they do, they're allowed to block, then that's what's gonna happen. I mean, it's just
but that's
plain and
exact. I mean,
simple.
it's the same driver, and I'm not saying that because it's Blaney, but I'm just pointing out that it's the exact same situation that happened at Daytona. It's
Well,
the
that
exact
actually,
same situation.
well, in Daytona, he was pushing Newman.
I
Here, he was
know.
side by
Well,
side.
sure, but okay, so then he really should have known better. It's like that.
Well, it's not like he turned him. He hit him, and then Jones hit Nemechek.
But so Blaney put it. But here's the thing: Blaney put himself in the position that Newman was in at Daytona, is what I think we're getting at here, right? So it's lucky that Blaney didn't get.
I mean, he wasn't blocking into. He wasn't blocking in front of somebody. He he was dooring him. I mean, if he got
We're
himself
about to have
turned,
some
Off
then
turn
noise.
sure.
Here in a
four.
second. I'm gonna shut it down.
And if he would have turned himself on the nose of someone else, then sure, I guess he was putting himself in the same position. But I think they're two very different situations.
Uh,
Can we talk about how freaking Eric Almirola finished third backwards?
well, Eric Almirola is just like, oh, where did he come from? There he is spinning across the screen, right? As we're talking about this.
There's a freeze frame in that finish where it looks like Almirola could have won backwards.
Mm.
There's there is a freeze frame where it's like a three-way finish.
Well, the thing was Nemechek coming.
Nemechek was trying to come around the outside of Jones, and it was around the time when Blaney was trying to get into
Oops, I didn't do the repeat.
He was, and you also remember in these cars, you're also trying to side draft and slow down each other's momentum. So I mean, the closer to Jones he gets, the more chance he has of winning. So him and Jones made contact, and then Nemechek was
I'm
there.
watching it right now. So let's see. Boy,
I don't think he came up and wrecked him.
I mean,
I don't think he just.
I mean, it was a chop. I mean, it wasn't really close. I mean, I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
Goes in front of Jones here.
Okay. Yeah, you're watching it, so even though we're not seeing it right now.
Yeah, no, you're not seeing the. No, that was. I'm going back.
Well, it's about to come up, so it's coming up on my screen again.
Comes
So
up
there's
to
a
Jones.
big block that Blaney put. He puts one block on him, and then he hits him. See, this is the
and
thing.
then he gets left out.
It's the
Nemechek,
second.
and then he comes up. Man,
It's
he
the
didn't
second. It's the second move that bothers me.
If he would have came up the track like 2 or 3 lanes, then man, that would have been blatant as hell.
Billy
But,
Strange says Almirola pushed Blaney. Let me take a look here.
He came up and hit the side of him. You gotta also see when they made contact. Look at how loose. Look how loose Blaney's car did, kind of like it did earlier in the race when he took the lead. Look at how wiggly the car gets when he makes it.
Okay, I'm gonna take a look here because I'm trying to see it because I heard so Almirola pushes Blaney. Where does this?
There has to be a better angle of this finish too. That's another thing I'm noticing.
That's hard to. It's hard to. Yeah, the angle isn't very good. I'll try to find a better angle.
That's the only angle I've seen so far too.
See, this is the Daytona thing all over.
Up.
This is the freaking Austin Dillon crash all over again.
Yeah, the Austin Dillon crash was pretty easy.
I know, but like that crash was very hard to find like a definitive angle of what happened for the longest time.
Just right after Jones hits the wall, just that clip of them coming to the line with Almirola wrecking to the other direction. That is looks like something out of a movie.
Okay, I'm looking here. So I wish Nemechek. I think Nemechek wins this race if he doesn't get wrecked.
I was really pulling for Stenhouse or Nemechek at the end. Really Stenhouse just because it's a JTG car now.
So we've got some. So
I usually like underfunded guys in these races.
We're saying John Hunter Nemechek touched Jones. I'm not sure about that. And yeah, there's some confusion about Almirola pushing Blaney, which
Well, he did. Well, technically Jones did hit Nemechek, but that's because Jones got pushed up the track.
Mm.
I don't think Blaney literally went up and wrecked him. I don't think he went up
But
with the intention
the
to.
result is that he wrecked him, though.
I don't think he went up there and he's like, I'm
I
gonna
mean,
break this guy for the win.
intentions are one thing, but he's got the big move there, and he missed it, and then he moves back up the track. So I don't know, man. I'm not saying it's on purpose, but I'm saying that he's at fault. And rubbing isn't racing at 200 miles an hour, Blue Angels. I'm sorry, it's not.
I mean, I don't.
It's maybe at Bristol, where you're going 120, not here. Can I slow-mo it? Let me see if I can do that. That would be really cool if I could do that. It doesn't look like I can do it. Add that to OBS. OBS. Did Bubba run out of gas?
Yeah, he did. That's the other thing.
Didn't he
Bubba,
go into the pits?
So what happened was, this is actually a really cool story too. Bubba was going to pit the lap the yellow came out for Johnson, and so they were thinking about staying out, for the green white checkered if they had enough, and they didn't, and they ran out coming into the pits under caution, and Corey LaJoy actually got behind Bubba and pushed him to a stall so he'd get to finish.
Mm.
So it was really cool.
Well, the thing was that I was confused as to why they stayed out for so long. Like all this.
Why not?
Well, but I would have gambled. I would have come in under green, like with 4 laps to go.
You would have lost a lap.
Not if they wrecked. They wrecked coming to the next. They wrecked coming around the next time, right? Let me see.
Sure. I mean, honestly, but then you'd still be pitting with like 4 to go. And what if a yellow doesn't happen? And then also you'd lose a lap.
Let me see if I can find.
You probably get passed by some other guys a lap down. So who knows? You get the lucky dog. And then if you took a wave around, then you'd still be in the back, which is pretty much where he was, anyways. So.
Hang on, it might get a noise here. Oh, I've got it muted. Okay. Let me see if I can pull it up on this YouTube thing here. Then I can roll it back and forth.
Yeah, LaJoy did get involved in the backstretch crash, but this was before the backstretch crashed under yellow.
Yeah, it was. So he ran out of fuel under yellow?
Yeah.
Because I know that.
I was listening to the. I saw the LaJoy thing on Twitter, but I was listening to Bubba's radio, and they were wanting to stay out, and then the car started sputtering. They're like, "Oh no."
Okay, I think I've got it figured out. Here we go. Okay. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to get this on the screen. Let me see if I can do this at the same time. So what I want to do is I want to go, whoop. I'm going to make this big.
People are talking a lot about blocking. I think for blocking, plate tracks, I think, well, this is an Indy car, and they don't have those rules. Like
that's such a bullshit argument. All right,
yeah, but that's fine. But one thing I think on super speedways like this, one thing I think that needs to be set is that I think there needs to be at least like an unwritten rule where
well, the unwritten rule used to be you're probably going to kill somebody if you do it. That's not. And again, I can't believe they didn't learn this lesson at Daytona. So let's see. That angle's still not good. It doesn't really show you what you need to see. I don't know if Almirola touched him. Let's see. I mean, this is as slow as it goes. No, from what I can tell there, Almirola did not. Blaney's already up. Blaney's already up at that point. And he hits him. He hits Jones. And I don't know.
Comes up the track. I think. But if you watch at the same time, if you watch at the same time, Jones is trying to move down to side draft as well,
Hold on. I actually
and
found the
then
better
Blaney
angle.
comes up too.
I don't know why it was lagging there for a second. It lagged really bad.
So then both of them make contact right where it was freeze framed a moment ago on the stream, which is around the same time after that when Jones was also moving.
Well,
down.
I know what I probably need to do. I probably need to make this go bye-bye for a second. Performance mode. Where's my performance mode? I need to get the performance mode going. Performance mode. Let me try that again. Maybe it won't lag now. So, okay. So let's take a look here. Now it's still lagging. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go... I can't go frame by frame. Yeah, no. Almirola never touches Blaney. So Blaney just drove straight up into Jones.
And another thing too, I mean, yeah, okay, you can say that it's his fault. Yeah, okay, blame.
And it's a
blame
second,
that,
and
still,
it's a second move too. That's the other thing. It's a set.
But if you get rid of Nemechek, which I mean, Nemechek came out of nowhere up there. You get rid of Nemechek, then they're basically just dooring each. Like Blaney even said in the interview, you know.
Oh, I know.
Just like the Newman finish at Dega last year. I mean, right now they're gearing up for the photo finish, and if Nemechek's not there, then Jones finishes the race. I mean,
I'm sure if you drive into somebody, I don't know. I'm not a fan of that.
pretty sure he drove straight into the side of Newman, or they both of them.
Oh, he did. I know he did. But
they did it at Dega last year. And they do it at pretty much every other.
And they were lucky.
I don't know how you.
They were lucky they didn't cause a crash there.
I don't know how you blame Blaney. It's just
I am blaming Blaney. He turned into him. How do you not blame him in that situation?
I mean, but I don't. If it happens so often at the end of these photo finishes, I don't get how you.
My point is, it's a problem because it's what causes Newman wrecks. Even if you didn't have a Newman wreck here, that it's that same sort of thing where you just do whatever is necessary. You know, I'm just not a fan of this. I'm not a fan of this when you do this. Like with the one move, like the first move is fine. I think you just say you can make one move and you lose the race if you make a second one. Like this first move here, like he missed it. And like that didn't cause a crash. Right? His first block didn't cause a crash. I mean, that's what my rule change would be. You may get one move.
That's what the IndyCar blocking rule is.
Well, there you go. Well, so then they should just adopt the IndyCar blocking rule on the plate tracks because if Blaney just makes that one block and he misses the block,
the blocking rule is you get one move. You can change your line one time, and you cannot move in reaction to someone else. That would be
hard to enforce on the.
Well, that's what the definition of block is move in reaction to.
The reaction move would be tough. The reaction one would be tough to do, but I think you could say one move, just whatever you want to do. You can block whatever or whoever, but you can't block twice, I guess, is what I would say. I mean, that's the big issue for me. Oops, I haven't got the camera back on. And I need to turn off performance mode so I can find out what I'm looking at on my screen. There we go. Oh, we're still playing that video, so never mind. So we're still playing the finish. What do I need to turn off there? There we go. Let's see how angry the chat got at me. Did we have any super chats at that point? Because I missed it. I would have missed them if I
was paying attention.
Okay.
Someone said, Christopher said, yeah, but John Hunter Nemechek was there. You can't just say that an incident wouldn't happen if someone wasn't there because the person was there and the incident did happen. That's true, but what I try to do when I'm looking at an incident is I'm trying to put myself in the mind of what the driver is probably thinking at that point.
And there wasn't a third car there at Daytona and they still had a big crash.
I'm really thinking here that I'm thinking that Nemechek had such a run, I don't think Blaney really knew he was coming there. So I mean, you're trying to move to the right and move. I mean, it's a racing incident. I see it as, you know, is it right?
It's not but it's not intentional in that Brian Blaney was trying to cause a crash. But it's a.
I mean, that's all I really care about, though. Honestly, that's all I really care about. I care about if Blaney did that on purpose or not. That's what I care about. If he didn't do it on purpose and it just happened and it was a deal.
But you could say that same thing about Austin Dillon. You go, oh, it's the last.
He definitely did that on purpose, though.
Braden Eves says IndyCar doesn't say you can only get one move. All they say is no reactionary move. That's from a real race car driver who races under IndyCar rules. So,
Yeah.
also subscribe to Braden Eves. We're gonna mod him in the chat.
I thought there was. Yeah. Shout out to Braden News.
I'm gonna mod Braden Eves so you guys can see him and you can subscribe to him. There we go.
They at least used to do one move, didn't they? Because I know
that was the
IndyCar
Barnhart. That was the Barnhart
Yeah.
era.
Because the IndyCar rules do say.
So we've got a Blaney's.
You can't move in reaction to.
So we've got a report that Blaney's spotter said go all the way to the top, coming to the line. So the spotter. I mean, I'm not saying that he did it intentionally. I'm just saying that he was at fault for the crash.
Okay, then sure.
Yeah.
But that's all I really care about.
But still, it's the style. But that sort of stuff on the last lap is
Okay,
exactly what I was complaining about
you
on
can say
Daytona.
that sure he didn't do it intentional, but the style of racing has to change. And yeah,
the chat wants me to talk about noon.
Oh yeah, that's got to come up.
Yeah, we do need to talk about this. Okay, so is there any logical reason that a race at a track that has no lights, that is on the East Coast, does not start at noon? Or at least you get the opening ceremonies going at noon. Like, Fox should be on the air at noon local time at pretty much every racetrack they go to. Now, on the East or on the West Coast, noon means 3 o'clock Eastern time. But, and that's why I get all these big brains on Twitter who are telling me from the West Coast, like, oh yeah, all our races start at noon. Yeah, did you know there's a time difference between the East and West Coast? And ultimately, NASCAR is a Northeast sport, right? So
Right.
all of the biggest markets on the TV ratings I always see are East Coast cities. It's like Charlotte and Indianapolis and isn't it like Fort Myers or something like that? It's like one of some Florida. So it's like I don't get the benefit of waiting all day to run a race, especially when there's weather that could be impending. Especially if you're doing a makeup set. This was the thing that really was inexcusable as far as I'm concerned, is why start the race at 3 p.m. on Monday? Like, people don't get out of work until 5 anyway. So I don't get it.
Here's my favorite comeback of the noon start times is the well, you can't predict the rain. It could have rained at noon.
But it gives you more options.
Well, here's the thing. If you plan to start the race at noon and it rains at noon, then guess what? That's 3 more hours you have to get the track dry and start the race than you did at starting it at 3. 2, one thing that's funny is it's funny how every time there's a rain delay, or at least this season how many races that there's been a rain delay could you say if you would have started at noon, we would have gotten most of the race? And it's funny how that works.
Yeah.
It's like that part's dumb luck, but like think about it. This noon debate comes up every time there's a rain delay because guess what? It wasn't raining at noon. That's dumb luck, but interesting.
GN says 1 p.m. Eastern time. I woke up at 10 a.m. for races in 2014. I think it's a fair compromise. East Coasters get a good time. West Coasters awaken to a race. I'm saying green flag come out 1 p.m. Eastern time. Like, the Indy 500 gets NASCAR style TV ratings and they start at 12:45. Green flag.
I mean, I basically lived in the West Coast for like 2 months last fall, and I gotta say it was freaking awesome. Just like waking up,
it's
getting out of
awesome
bed
as
and
an East Coaster
and having
West
having
Coast.
college football on TV like at 10 in the morning. Just wake up and instantly just boom. You don't have to wait all day for stuff to happen. It's amazing. So I don't get why they all complain like some of us like to sleep in. Are you kidding me, dude? If you're not waking up early the day of a race because you're so freaking excited, then what are you doing? Like, come on.
Well,
and then there's
even
also the
so,
argument.
it's like, isn't the finish the part that's the exciting part anyway?
Yeah, too. And then also, it's like I hear the argument like it gives fans more times to do things at the track. Dude, I I get to the track. I mean, people aren't. I know everyone isn't this crazy, but like I wake up pretty much when the freaking gate opens every day. I'm at a racetrack, and you don't even have to do that. I
They
wake up
clearly
early when you're going to a race and make time to do things if you want to do things. A
they
race
cl-
starting at literally noon should not be an excuse to not do things.
they clearly didn't go to those Pocono races where the race started at 3:30.
Yeah,
Oh my god. Those things
terrible.
those things were just like that wait. Like, and that's the thing, the paying customers it sucks for, because you want to watch the race, and obviously NASCAR races are a little bit different because they give you more stuff to do, but still, like, man, it's a long wait when you're at the racetrack. And also, if you're coming in from out of town and it's a Sunday afternoon race at 3:30, like, I went to a dirt race this weekend,
Yeah.
which was on the was like 5 hours away from my house, and it ended at like 1 a.m. and I didn't get home until like 4:30 in the morning. It was like, oh boy, woo.
By the way, you should definitely carpool with our friend Robbie and come to Mid Ohio next weekend.
I'd rather go to Road
Definitely
America.
do that. You should definitely do that.
I would like to save my time and energy to go to Road America.
That's in like 2 or 3 weeks, by the way.
I
Like
know.
3 weeks now.
I know. I know.
It's coming close.
I know.
Close. What was I gonna say?
It's so weird with IndyCar because it feels like it's not happening all the time.
Oh yeah.
It just like goes.
Oh, what? I
IndyCar
remember what I was
just
gonna
goes
say.
away. It's just like it disappears.
I remember what I was gonna say on start times. Some road courses it is acceptable like an IndyCar because I know like the Mid Ohio race starts at like 3. But the thing about that is you have support races.
Mhm.
You know, like we got to watch the. You remember that we got to see the Stadium Super Trucks. We got
Yep.
to see all of the Road to Indy stuff.
Got to see
So,
Braden
yeah,
Eves
yeah,
and Road Indy.
yeah. It's not like it's like when those happen when you have support races and things to do. Then okay, 3 p.m. start, but there's no reason to have a 3 p.m. start and just sit around for a couple hours and wait.
Yeah, when there's nothing going on, it sucks. When there's support, but they don't even do support races, right?
No.
Oh god, I'm not reading that. Thank you for your money, but I'm not reading that. Sorry. God. That's annoying me. Yeah, I stand with Bubba. I definitely do.
I stand with Bubba.
Yeah.
Man's a photographer. He does damn good photography.
Well, no, I
It's
mean,
great.
look, man, this is that shit pisses me off. That really does, because, yeah, fuck that super chat. I agree, because look, I mean, he's a driver. Like, what the hell? Like, the fact. I mean, what are you not standing with Bubba for? Like everybody was mad about the kneeling. The hashtag is literally stand. Like, what's...
Bubba didn't even kneel. But he didn't kneel.
Yeah,
And
I mean, that's not even the issue that's being discussed here, which is just the whole. I mean, that's just stupid. It's just stupid. You know, this is the easiest thing. The easiest thing to take a political stance on. It's not even a political stance, but just some people think it's a political stance. It's the easiest thing. I don't like racism. Like, this is the most obvious racism I've seen in a very long time. Like, how hard is this to say I don't agree with? You know?
it isn't political. It really isn't political. That's the number one thing I've seen. It's just like, it's not political, guys.
But it's just like it's so let's put it this way. Let's say you have, I mean, what if it was any other driver? Would you not be in support of that driver who was threatened? You know?
Exactly.
I mean, what are you saying? You know, it's I stand with Bubba hashtag is not a political movement. There's no political action committee behind that. Okay? There's no money going to politicians with this. This is literally a driver was threatened at a race by someone who had access to the infield. Like, it's cut and dry. It's so easy. It's so easy just to. I mean, this is. I just don't see why anyone wouldn't support Bubba Wallace at this point. But I know there are people who don't, which is just. Which again, it just doesn't make any sense. Steven says, or Stefan says, hashtag I stand with Bubba. Do you like Jeff Gordon and William Byron? Definitely like Jeff Gordon. William Byron, I'm still like, I don't know enough about him. And I haven't seen enough of him, even though he's been racing for like 3 years.
I like William Byron. I've seen a couple of the, like, I think it was either NBC or Fox. I saw one of the pre-racings. That was cool.
He started in iRacing.
And some of the videos about him dating Blaney's sister is really funny. So, yeah.
Oh,
funny.
yeah. I forgot about
that.
that.
Like the ones with Rutledge. Did you ever see that one?
I think I did. Dwayne says, I stand with Bubba. There you go.
There we go. I've had the opportunity to meet Bubba twice, both times.
I have not met Bubba.
Actually, last year, what was really cool is I got to see him at the Chevy stage, where he came really early in the morning, and he didn't like it. He liked to sleep in, and he just, yeah. I don't think there's a more genuine guy in NASCAR. There probably is. We just don't know him because Bubba, what you see is what you get. I mean, he speaks his mind. He does, it's just the number one thing. That's one of the things he said at the Chevy booth. What you see is what you get. And he's just, he average everyday dude. He's just in a position where he has a really cool job.
Timer
I mean,
went off.
he was really one of my favorite NASCAR drivers I ever met.
Logan said something that I do want to talk about. Oh, real quick. GN says, with recent events, Larson is not returning in 21. I disagree. And this is something that I need to probably make a video about. But Larson has actually quietly...
I was wondering if we'd talk about that.
Has been attending, and I don't know specifically what they are, but he has been reaching out to the African American community. I know he went to the George Floyd Memorial. I know he's been working.
I want to find out what he's specifically. I can find my phone. I want to find out specifically what he's doing.
Sure, yeah. If you can,
that deserves.
Because I retweeted some of that stuff that I think it was NASCAR Fan Police kind of dug up. Now, this is something I want to address before we get into the Larson thing. Logan said, there are idiots who think it was staged for PR. So there's this thing going around that people think it was a false flag. And what a false flag is when somebody does something that's politically motivated. It could be terrorism. It could be a threat like this. It could be anything. But essentially plays the other side, like tries to take on the role of being the other side that they disagree with, to try to bait people into getting a reaction. So essentially they stoke, the idea is that, and this is what I disagree with when people bring this up, and I know you're not bringing it up, but I've seen it, that people are saying that Bubba did this for publicity, which is complete horse shit, by the way. I completely do not think that Bubba Wallace, A, would ever do something like this, or B, would have any motivation to do something like this. Wouldn't make any sense. It would be counterproductive to everything that he has been working for in the last couple of weeks. I don't think so. But I will say that it's not outside of the realm of possibility that this was a bad actor. So to say that this could have been a plant in the respect of somebody was trying to make NASCAR look racist and did this. But of course, then again, if you think about it, one way or the other, it's somebody trying to make NASCAR look racist. It's either somebody who actually in real life agrees, or somebody who is actually racist, or somebody who's trying to make NASCAR look racist. Either way, they used a racist symbol to try to race bait and create this situation that we see. But either way, I think whoever gets caught, I cannot wait to see them ostracized. Ryan Eric King says, you'd be surprised by the amount of people who don't want to admit that this problem exists. Hashtag I stand with Bubba. Thank you, Ryan. Yeah, I know, Ryan, I'm sure this one's close to your heart. I know you've been really vocal about this issue. And I'm in some ways, I'm kind of disappointed that I haven't been quite as vocal recently. But you're right. I mean, I guess that's a good point that you bring up, because it's something that I've thought about in the last 24 hours, which is you don't want to believe that something like this could happen, right? You want to believe that there are some racist grandpas on Facebook, but they're all barking, they're no bite, and that's going to be the end of it. But clearly, there was at least somebody who thought that this was acceptable behavior. And it's really chilling, especially knowing that it's from one of three camps. It's either either a driver, it's a crew member, or it's somebody who works at Talladega Superspeedway, which is just not good. Not good. James Gentry says Larson deleted his Twitter. Hope Stuart Haas Racing hires him. So that's interesting. Yeah, Larson did delete his Twitter.
I found the thing.
Okay, we'll get to that in just a second. Because it'll lead into this.
Yeah,
Larson did delete all his social media, and people took that as him running away from the problem, which I don't believe that's what's happening, and the reason being is what Kyle is about to tell you right now.
So Kyle Larson has been doing work for the Santa Foundation, which I'm guessing is it's a youth what it says. I'm reading their Instagram bio. Youth development organization that provides life skills programs using soccer as a catalyst to empower kids, improve lives, and unite communities. And since the pandemic, they've been doing things like basically just helping around the communities, like food drives, cleaning, just local community service type stuff. And what people found was Kyle Larson actually a part of the group helping out, and he visited the George Floyd memorial and funeral and all that, and just
let me get the I've got a picture of that one. I just went and looked up on the Twitter.
And the thing is, since he deleted all of his social media, it took just someone random finding Kyle Larson in these pictures to find it. So it's not what's great about that is it's obviously not something
it's not for
doing.
Clout.
Yeah, it's not for clout. I mean, he's really trying to change. I think he's really trying to do good.
So as you can see, there's Kyle Larson on the screen right here. I'll try to move this image around. So let me see if I can get this. So this is the Santa Foundation. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, I believe.
The Santa Foundation. They're at the George Floyd Memorial here, and obviously Kyle Larson there.
So you watch the Kyle Larson apology, and some people were like, maybe it just doesn't sound that sincere, this and that. And then you see this, and this feels like a bit more than his apology did.
Well, that was always the thing, and I said this about the rebel flag.
This looks a bit more genuine than the apology video did.
You have to, it's to me, social media activism, which is to say posting things on Twitter, that doesn't mean jack diddly shit to me. What means something to me here is this. This is what means something to me. Kyle Larson actually going out into the community, learning from his mistakes, and trying to improve.
Yeah.
And again, when you look at, and again, I don't want to make this what happened with what Kyle Larson did small, but when you look at somebody literally putting a noose in the black driver's garage versus saying the N-word during a video game stream, that to me is much more redeemable. And this is something that, again, it's not, and I certainly don't believe that he only said that word once, but I think he's able to, and I've thought this the whole time, I think in a lot of ways he's going to be able to rehabilitate his image. The person who did this noose,
Nope.
no, I don't think there's any coming back from that. And because if you go that far, I mean that's going far. You know that. I mean that's crossing. I mean that was what made me so mad about this whole thing. And again, was that was a line that just I couldn't believe somebody crossed. I couldn't believe it. We got a couple super chats I do want to get to real quick. Clay of Boo Dumb. I think that's what he. I feel like I'm alone in NASCAR because I appreciate clean hard racing more than the overused excuse for bad driver actions. Rubbins racing. I think there's more people that feel that way than you would believe. Honestly,
Yeah.
I think there are more people that feel that way than you would
More
think.
people feel that way than you really think.
Larson has a new private Instagram. Larson 1K. Well, if he comes back, I mean, he'll probably need to do social media again.
Yeah.
But I think he will get another ride. I do. I really do. If he wants one. I mean, this is the other thing to think about is maybe he's going to be happier not having a social media presence, running dirt, and being with his family, and doing things like this. I would be, and here's the thing too, is the photo you're seeing right here was taken before the winning streak started. So the fact that I think it probably helped his soul a little bit, I think it put him at ease to do some of this community work because I think it improved his performance, to be quite honest with you. I really do.
What do you think happens first, though, David? Do you think he gets back into the Cup Series, or do you think he goes for the Indy 500?
Depends what sponsor wants to sign up with him first, I suppose, and what teams want to work with him. I mean, the thing was, the Indy 500 chance was going to be pretty much through Ganassi. So the fact that Ganassi is probably never going to be an option again limits the choices there. But I mean, you just don't know. You just don't know whether Kyle Larson, what situation Kyle Larson could come back to. You just don't know. The thing is that the guy has, in the last couple of races on the dirt, proven that he's clearly a generational talent. And clearly he didn't exhibit great judgment before, but that's something that I think could change. And I think by this image, at least, and some of the things that we've been seeing and hearing, it may not just be images and might not just be words. It might be real life change. And I think, and again, I've said this from the very beginning about Kyle Larson, and I was very careful not to call him a racist, because I think that word you need to be very careful throwing around. The person who put that noose up, they're a fucking racist, okay? Kyle Larson, don't think so. Ignorant, oh yeah, at least at the time, but I don't think that he was racist, and I think eventually people will see that, but we'll see. Arian Gomez says, I believe Larson is a dum-dum for what he said, but this ordeal will be the positive seasoning that he was probably missing in his life. Yeah, I mean, that goes back to what I was saying, which is I think that ultimately this is it's a tough learning experience, tough learning experience, but it was a bad thing that he said. So, and it was said very cavalierly too. I think that that shouldn't be lost. I mean, again, we don't know for sure that he never said it again, but I would say if he said it that easily, he probably said it more than once.
Probably isn't going to make sense to a lot of people. Like, it probably won't make a lot of sense at all to many people. But I think, honestly, Larson is happier racing dirt.
Oh, 100%. But I'm just saying
he's way happier.
But I think he will want. But here's the thing: is that what I'm saying is I think a big money offer is going to come sooner rather than later. That's my impression. We'll see. And I don't. It's not like I've talked to team owners, be like, "Are you going to hire Kyle Larson?" And in fact, I've had people in the industry said, "No way, it's not going to happen." But I don't know. You see, there have been other drivers who have come back from. I mean, Tony Stewart ran a guy over, and he's back,
Allmendinger.
Allmendinger,
Bush.
Kurt Busch,
Kurt Busch came back from a few
Santino
things.
Ferrucci.
Santino Ferrucci.
Yeah. So I mean, and again, Larson has done clearly a lot. Okay, so I don't know. Again, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we're not wrong. But yeah, I do think. I mean, a lot of people are saying that. Yeah, you know, you're absolutely right when you say Larson always wanted to leave NASCAR. Yeah, I don't think he. I mean, he was trying to make his fortune there, but I don't think he made his fortune. Otherwise, he would have already been gone. You know. I don't know. All right, how long have we been on? We still got 413 people watching. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate that. I'll try to. So we're gonna go for about 15 more minutes, and then we'll jump off at 10 p.m. So if you got any more things to talk about, I'll try to just focus completely on the chat for this last 15 minutes. But I will say before we get into kind of talking with the chat that expect in fact, several of these on Brickyard Weekend. So that's July 4th, 5th. We are going to be, because that is such a significant weekend, I still haven't seen a schedule for that yet, so I don't know how many days that will be. I assume it's going to be, it's going to be at least 2. It's probably going to be more like 3 or 4 days. I'm going to do a stream at least at the end of each day, possibly multiple streams, especially when we have the Xfinity race and the IndyCar race to talk about. We might need to do more than a couple of streams, and I'll try to get the quality right off of the bat, so we don't have to worry about what we had at the beginning of this.
You have no idea how badly I want to just drive to Indy July 4th weekend and just set up a lawn chair outside Gate 1, just hang out. You know how badly I just want to freaking do that. It's only 4 hours away. I'm having legit thoughts about doing that. I'll join the streams from outside Gate 1. I'll be the @track reporter. I'll do it. Freaking, I'm just, that weekend's gonna be annoying.
Any news on Alex, says Aiden. Last I had heard, it wasn't exactly good news, but it's not the worst news. I think he's in a medically induced coma. Trying to remember specifically. I know he's I can't remember. I know he's in a medically induced coma right now, and they're waiting for again, it's hard to say specifically, but I think it doesn't seem like it's going to be 100% a happy ending right now. We'll see, but that's not what I'm kind of getting the impression of, which sucks.
The last bad news I heard was that because of the things doing something because of COVID makes things a bit harder. So
I hadn't heard that.
that was
I mainly just heard medical updates.
Today.
Talk about Jacoby. So I'll touch on this very briefly because again, it's a developing situation, and
it's not really developing. These things that have been going around have been known for.
But I don't want to
years.
say
Just
something
finally...
I don't want to say something I could get sued for, right?
True.
So there are a couple of exposed videos happening right now. I think Black Flags Matter's making one right now. I don't know if it's out yet.
No, it came out already. So basically, just look at Black Flags Matter's latest video, and then check out Austin Ogonowski's latest video.
So the thing I wanted to talk about with Ogonowski is that he actually interviewed the girlfriend, who is allegedly the victim of a couple of pretty heinous crimes. And it's interesting to hear her side. And I have checked out. I've kind of been keeping an eye on the Jason Jacoby YouTube page, which is just effing insane. At the very least, I will say this: I think the guy needs mental help now, because I'm worried what's eventually going to get uploaded on that channel, and I just hope that they get him the help that he needs. Right? I mean, right now the guy needs mental health, and then we can talk about whatever he might have done in the past. Arian Gomez says IMS on 4th weekend's going to be motorsport madness. It will. Did you know? Did you know
wish we were there.
The sprint car race that I went to was called Open Wheel Madness?
Really?
Yeah. I was like,
I still haven't gotten to go to a sprint car race yet. I'm pretty sad about that.
That was the first time I've seen winged sprint cars, believe it or not.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
It was fun. I thought it was weird that oh my god, we got a big super chat. I thought it was weird that there were 3 different classes of the same car essentially. But outside of
What?
that,
What they have? 305, 360, and
305.
410.
No. It's 410, 305, and then 358.
358. What?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What?
Yep.
Pennsylvanians do something weird.
Pennsylvania was weird, but that was the best race of the night. 358s. Jareth says the early 80s had aggressive racing at the Super Speedway. 75 lead changes at Dega in 84 without aggressive blocking and bump tandem drafting. Do you see any potential for that in the Gen 7 era? No, I don't. I'll tell you why, because it's still going to be the same thing, which is the high downforce, low horsepower package. So, again, and I don't want to be misinterpreted here. I thought the racing was fine this weekend. It just, it's just not going to be super pure racing. I thought what we saw was entertaining and fun, and I thought it was good racing for the most part. Elite Fight says, stream after the F1 race. Maybe. I think about it.
So many races going on then.
Yeah, it's going to be like, racing's really back on the 4th of July weekend. It really
Except
is.
we won't be there.
Yeah, just stop reminding me.
I gotta keep poking it in there.
358 is a thing in PA, and it's 360 everywhere else. Yeah, I had it explained to me that 358 and 360, but there are races in Pennsylvania where 360s. So they sometimes have 4-class races where they have the 410s, the 360s, the 358s, and then the 310s, or what's the low class?
305.
305s. But I enjoyed it. I saw a car flip out of the ballpark. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
The winged cars flip different, man.
I've seen non-wing sprint cars flip too, though. Those are those crashes. I heard my friend Brody one time explain this to me. He said there's no such thing as a small sprint car crash.
Yeah.
And yeah.
The most scared I've been for a sprint car crash is when you see the Silver Crown crashes at the Hoosier 100. I saw Wyndham get the fence right in front of me, and then I saw freaking Chris Dyson actually flip on the back straight, and that was scary.
Mm-hmm.
Freaking Chris Dyson flipping a sprint car. That was terrifying.
By the way, no masks anywhere, none.
Yeah,
I was the one person.
When I was racing at Mid Ohio this weekend, they said we needed masks, and they were like, the health department might be randomly showing up. We have to wear them.
Too bad we have 2.
By the end of the weekend, nobody's wearing them. And I do want to talk about masks because it was the first time last weekend in Mid Ohio was the first time I actually had, and I didn't think I'd have a problem wearing one, but it's like in the blazing heat, all the walking around, it's like you can't not like lift it for air. Like you can't not do it ever. Like
or to drink.
Yeah, like it's just when it's that hot like it was, it's like, man,
Yeah, that was the big thing, and I wish I would have
didn't-
thought about it better because I would have just vlogged in the mask. Because
like, man, I was like big, like, dude, just wear your mask. It's what you have to do, and I'm still that way. I mean, it's like if it's the thing we have to do to go racing, then let's do it. I don't understand.
But my point is that my big issue is the fact that if no one's and I live in a state where it's like masks are required everywhere, but I know that other states there's no masks anywhere, and there haven't been this entire lockdown. So it's like, what? Okay, so are we just doing it for the television at this point?
Yeah.
That's the big thing that I have a problem with. GN says, too bad we have 2 Pocono Cup races. Z. Yeah, the other thing is that we can't. I don't think fans are allowed at Pocono, which sucks.
Weird.
And I might have made the trip because that's next weekend, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I might have made the trip. I might reach out to I'll reach out to NASCAR and be like, just be like, could I get in? Maybe. I would go if I could get in.
You should come to Mid Ohio because they have the Formula Regional Americas there, which is basically what F3 used to be, and we can hang out with Jacob Abel. And basically, F3 this year is basically just going to be the new Indy Lights.
Indy Lights, yeah.
HMD moved down there.
Andretti's in it.
I don't think all of Andretti moved. I think it's just Daniel Frost. If Chicken Tendies was there, I'd definitely be coming. I might still go if I can. I don't know. I know most of the people.
We don't know what Rob McGinnis is racing this year, do we?
I just made some. His latest text to me was, and I quote, "I love you," because I made him a bunch of liveries. But yeah, I know a bunch of people in Mid Ohio. I should be able to get into that race. I wish McGinnis was running that, but I don't think he is. I know Jabel is, so I mean, actually today Jabel was running a NSX.
I saw that. I'm insanely jealous of him. Insanely jealous of him because he gets to run it at Road Atlanta. Insanely jealous. Insanely jealous. Okay. Would you say ARCA is comparable to Indy Lights? Oh yeah, I did see a question about the ARCA race. It sucked. There we go.
It was very bad.
Is ARCA comparable to Indy Lights? In some ways, but in some ways, no. Indy Lights is like a combination of Xfinity and Lights. It's like if the Truck Series had 8 cars.
Yeah.
That's Indy Lights.
Ooh, one positive from this weekend that's great is that the photographers were able to come back. The actual
at Talladega.
Photographers. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Mr.
I'm glad about that.
Dalen Barr was there, and oh yeah, then also some YouTubers. Mr. There was
Joseph
and
Lombard was there. Yeah.
Moonhead.
But they weren't there for but they weren't
they
there
were
as
just there
media.
as
They were
fans.
just fans. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Still cool,
it's
though.
still weird. And that sucked because again, I don't want to give away too much behind the scenes stuff, but Indy was gonna be so cool.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be so cool, but
That was gonna be the weekend.
oh,
Only brought it up 4 times, and now you're bringing it up.
because I'm bringing it up because I'm just thinking about what we missed out on in about 3 weeks.
Well, are we going to Bristol the weekend after the week? Isn't it the week after Road America? Like it's the Wednesday.
It's
after,
the week
isn't it?
before. Wait, what?
I think it's the week.
What does?
Might be...
Are you talking about the IMS museum?
No, Bristol.
Oh,
that was
the
week after
All-Star
Road
race.
America. Yeah, that was the week after Road America.
I guess I haven't thought about. I don't know.
Literally texted you. I was like, "Are we going to Bristol?"
I haven't. I don't know. I don't know because the problem is that July is a busy month.
July's not as busy as freaking August, man. Are you kidding?
Yeah,
me?
but I have to like prepare for August in July.
Well, because
That's what makes it busy.
We're doing Battle of the Brickyard, Mid Ohio, Indy, Gateway.
Okay.
Like
we got some people in the chat talking about the Sonoma situation. We know there's not enough information for me to talk about it right now. Unless something else has come up. I'd seen Adam Stern's tweet. I'll check Twitter real quick. I'm checking it right now. Just to see if there's anything else. Why is Juicy Smollett trending? Actually, I know exactly why he's trending. I'll click on it anyway. No, it's the bullshit that you'd expect it to be. Let's see. Well, I can tell you that people are just quoting the Adam Stern tweet from 2 hours ago. It looks like. Again, it's hard to talk about. It's hard. There's not anything really there, you know. Let me see if there was something else I saw that I feel like I should talk about. Maybe I missed it. Oh yeah, Black Lives Matter got freaking doxxed, didn't he? Today? Didn't somebody dox him? Did I lose Kyle?
what?
Kyle.
What?
Didn't Black Flags get
Yeah.
doxxed today?
Well, yeah. Someone. Okay. Someone. I'm gonna go to that. Someone sent him an email using a fake email, and they told him.
Now I want you to be very careful about. Don't give too many details. That's one thing that I want to be careful about, because if it's the wrong guy.
I know. I wasn't gonna.
Yeah. Okay.
They sent him an email, and I guess whatever the thing in the email was truth seeker, and they sent me an email and said, "I think it's time you got a taste for your own medicine. I bet you feel uncozy inside, canceling others who have different opinions, don't you?" And I'm guessing the blocked out was his address, is what he said, and then name left blank because we don't know for sure. His YouTube, someone left a comment on his YouTube. This is the one that's really this made me very, very angry. Someone commented on his YouTube video, said, "Stop deleting my comments, you jerk. I put your black family in danger. don't make me do the same with Jarrett, because I was trying to read that. He left out me. But yeah, he got that on his YouTube, and he got the email, and yeah,
Then
it's not good.
yeah.
What you want to see at all.
Well, these guys have all come out. They came out in force, I guess. I mean, it's a shame. I mean, I guess it's not a shame that they're getting exposed, but
I guess it wasn't much of a dox.
why are people
It was
saying
more,
Hamlin
it was a
flipped?
threat.
Did
was a
Hamlin
threat.
flip? Why are people
I don't know.
saying Hamlin
Did you read
flipped?
that? Is that from earlier? I saw someone say, "Did you know Hamlin flipped?"
No, I didn't. Did he flip?
I don't think he did.
Well, let's go to
If
Twitter.
he did, we would have heard about it.
You would think. Let's see. Hold on. Denny Hamlin. I feel like we're getting trolled, but we'll see.
One post. Is that the?
I see something from 2010, which was the first. No, I don't know. The chat is being weird. The chat is talking about things that just literally did not happen. So, oh god, come on, chat. Too much fake news. Why is B movie in the chat? I don't know. Why is B movie in the chat? Hamlin didn't flip. Okay, Hamlin never flipped. Okay, so I think we've covered pretty much everything. Again, I'll say at the end, just damn, I hate that there's still people who hate black people more than they love auto racing. I can't believe that that's a thing still. But there we got the timer. We had the timer go off. But I
don't care. What your stance on the flag is. That a line was crossed very badly. And yeah, there's not much else. There's not much to say except it's awful, and that can't happen. And whoever it was, will get caught. It will come out who it is, and they will be banned for life. And yeah, it's very very depressing that these things still happen. I think you said it best. I think the best quote from you is that how when people try to ignore it, how you just you think that it's just these old people on Facebook, but it's obviously more than that, and that's what's gotta stop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but otherwise, good race.
One thing I do want to point out
what
is I think you pointed out a couple streams ago about not really saying much on social media about the happenings. And one thing I want to say is I understand that I will never understand what is happening. So I choose to listen and learn, and I don't want to, put things out there to come out, for clout, for say, I understand that I will never understand, so
that's the big thing that I saw the last couple of weeks is that I'm not a big fan of the clout chasing. You've got to I don't know. I don't want to talk. Here's the thing, and maybe I'm being naive, but I like to believe that all 59,000 or whatever of you who subscribe to this channel are not racist. So telling you that racism is wrong, I feel like constantly talking, I feel like I'm talking down to you when I say that. I don't know. Maybe I have too much faith in my audience, but I don't think I do. And again, here's the other thing too, is that I have obviously I'm not just a guy. I run a YouTube channel, and this is my brand. Social media is my brand. And I have seen you guys. I've seen your faces. I've met you. And you don't all look like me, which is probably a good thing in some respects. But I know that a lot of you guys have different experiences from me. I know that, I'm a white guy. I'm not going to ever understand what it's like to be, having to fear that someone will put up let me put it this way. I say a lot of controversial things. I never have to worry that someone is going to hang a rope in my goddamn yard because I've said something. So I understand that. And so from that perspective, I try very hard not to try to be like a lot of these brands out there that put out statements to try to get you to buy their product. I don't want you to watch me because of some statement I make. I think that's a little disingenuous because I think in a lot of ways it comes off that way. And I don't want to look like I'm profiting off of, people who are a real issue that people, especially people who watch my videos, are going through. So I'm just careful about that. But this issue in particular, I mean, this is a threat, right? This is a direct threat. Like it's very easy to say this, like put your foot down and say this isn't a nuanced issue. This shit should not happen. Period. End of story. There you go. But again, good race. Enjoyed it. Hope you guys did. Let me know down in the comments if you're watching this post stream. Let me know in the stream comments if you did enjoy, or the live chat if you enjoyed it. Like the video if you enjoyed the stream. We will be doing this for Indianapolis. Subscribe to Racing Nation TV. I think the Indianapolis stream is going to be pretty banging. I've been working on a couple things for that. Can't wait to show you. So thank you guys, and we'll see you in the next video.